The most unprofessional sports channel on YouTube. Welcome back to Swivel Chair Sports. I'm your host, Zach Circlebark Bertle, here with the host today, Aaron and Joe. Go and say hi, guys.
Hi.
All right, in this video, we're going to be going over our Week 8 NFL winners and losers. If you haven't seen one of these before, we're going to be going around and round, each giving a winner or a loser, a reason why we think that person or thing or team or whatever is a winner or a loser. And just keep going until we run out of people to talk about.
If you like our content, be sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think.
So for our first winner this week, it was National Tight End Day. And tight ends went crazy. We saw both the most receptions, 177, and touchdowns, 16, that we've ever seen on a single day in NFL history by the tight end position as a collective, that is. We had one game, 4 touchdowns total between Kyle Pitts and Cade Otton, tight ends for the Falcons and Buccaneers, respectively. We had the normal suspects, the guys that, we expect to be fine in the end zone, like Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Mark Andrews, Evan Ingram. You had a couple of the young studs, Dalton Kincaid, Sam Laporta, and Tucker Kraft, each having a touchdown catch. And then some forgotten names this season, ones we haven't really heard much of. David Njoku and Tyler Conklin found the red zone, or some red zone success. And then a few under-the-radar guys like Brock Wright, Nate Atkins, Adam Troutman, all hauled in touchdowns. First ones this season for each of them. So congrats to all the tight ends this past Sunday on your special day. And hope to see more success out of you guys in the future.
Yeah, I'll kind of piggyback off that. Trey McBride, another tight end for the Arizona Cardinals, didn't have a touchdown, but he did have 9 receptions for 124 yards. So pretty big contribution from him in that win over Miami. So I've got the Cardinals kind of as a winner this week. That Murray and Harrison connection's really starting to kind of heat up. They're starting to kind of feel each other out, and it's very exciting to see Marvin Harrison kind of finally, show why he was the first receiver taken off the board. So Arizona, they got some good young players down there. They just need probably another receiver, and to shore up that O-line, and that offense is going to be pretty scary here in the next few years.
Yeah, that offense is by far the best part of that team right now. That defense still needs a lot of work, but could carry them to a playoff spot.
And that's the future. Still a little inconsistent at times, but they got something to look forward to. I'll say that much. I agree with you guys. Mine kind of ties in with that. My first winner, I see him a little bit, is the Dolphins. Hey, anyone that watched the game, they look 10 times better than anything they put on the field since Tua's been off. So, but was there a little rust? It's hard to expect, honestly, a win from a guy who's been sitting out that long, and then you add some of the injuries and stuff they've had to deal with. I mean, it's probably the best team they've been able to put out there since week 1. So, props to them. I mean, it might not change their season. They might not still make the playoffs, but at least if you're a Dolphins fan, at least that's a little bit more bearable to watch. At least your team moving the ball and making a competitive game compared to the last few weeks, it seemed like.
Yeah, on a bright spot.
Yeah, and that game really kind of came down to that safety on that bad snap to where he just kind of had to bat it out of the back of the end zone. So you kind of eliminate that, and that's sort of a whole different ballgame.
I also think there was a bright spot there early in the game specifically where they dropped back like 13 times out of the first 15, 16 plays or something like that. So I think Tua and Mike McDaniels as well, both showing, no lack of toughness.
Not being scared.
Yeah, not being scared. Thank you, Aaron. I was losing my train of thought there.
I think it shows the confidence that McDaniel had, that he's the one who got Tua the contract, right? Like, he's the one willing to stand with him. Like, I think it showed, one, he was trying to make sure to get the rust off as soon as possible for them, and then I think also it's just like he knows what his guy's capable of at the bare minimum. coming back. Also, hey, props to Tua. I don't know if you guys saw the video. Him scrambling, getting the first down, and slid, and the fans went nuts.
There we go.
That he slid. Yeah, went down, and they went crazy. He was celebrating, pumping up the crowd. So, I mean, that was good to see. I mean, you already see how good the product is with him coming off of, not playing for 5 weeks, 6 weeks. So, good for them. Good for them.
I mean, as long as we're sucking off the Dolphins, might as well throw Achane in there. He had a heck of a game too. Did you see that run where he broke like 3 tackles and like carried another defender another 5 yards?
I was skeptical of him coming into the year. I thought people were overlooking Mostert just a few good games, and I guess that's why I'm not coaching them, because that guy he makes plays, man. He makes stuff happen.
Well, not to talk this game to death, but my next winner goes right back to it. And Aaron, you touched on it a little bit. He did it, fellas. Kyler Murray finally fucking did it. On the weekend, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was released. Most people assumed he probably put up a dud against the Dolphins, especially when they were welcoming back their heart and soul of the team, Tua Tagovailoa. Kyler played well in what shaped out to be, was shaping up to be a storybook victory for the Dolphins into his first game back. But Kyler managed to march the Cardinals down the field, all while being down 2 points, using all 5 minutes he had left. Thrust him into first place in the division now, thanks to the Bills beating the shit out of the Seahawks, at least. But Kyler played pretty well on Call of Duty Black Ops 6 release day, which is huge. Threw for 307 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, which is the main thing. All while throwing for 72% completion. Probably his best game thus far this year. And he'll need to build off of that because the defense is bottom 7 in both passing and rushing yards. So in order for them to fight for a playoff spot, he's going to have to play a lot more like this for the rest of the season. Because the offense is probably going to have to score 30 to win every game.
I'll throw out the Cleveland Browns and Jameis Winston as winners. He never fails to provide an entertaining football game. Kept it close with the Ravens there, and then late in the game, he throws an errant pass right to the Ravens defender. And it was Hamilton, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And he dropped the pass that was thrown right
between the numbers.
Would have sealed the game, and you need to stop that. And very next play, Jameis Winston bombed down the middle of the field for a touchdown. And then the Ravens can't get it done there in the final few seconds, throwing up a Hail Mary. So I don't think anybody really expected the Browns to come out there and beat the Ravens, but
I called those last 2 plays a microcosm of his career, because one play he's just sailing it, throwing it right at the defender's chest, and the next play, fucking 35-yard just beauty, just dropped right in the bucket. So shout out to Jameis.
When you texted that, I was cracking up, because I mean Jameis. I mean, hey, granted, he hit both dudes in the hands.
Yeah, beautiful passes, both of them.
Opportunities to both teams. That's it. Hamilton didn't capitalize. The receiver did. Man, did you guys see the video before the game when he's like, and play for that team on your helmet? Well, we don't have helicopters.
Dude,
how can you not be like, yeah, I'm
he's
going to
so
war
funny,
with
bro.
Yo, man.
He's so funny.
Well, this makes it easy. I'm gonna go ahead and piggyback from my first loser because it connects right in there with them. With this, Aaron's comment about the Browns. The Ravens do it again, man. What the heck? They get going. They're on this historical offensive pace. They look like they got it figured out. They should be coasting into a 6-2 record against, after beating the Browns. But what do? No, they don't just do that. They go out there and lose to the Browns. And it wasn't because the Browns played, some outstanding, amazing football game. Granted, Jameis Winston did play himself a game. I'm happy for him. But, I mean, we saw the Kyle Hamilton pick. Like, that would have sealed the game. Ball done right over.
Yeah.
But instead, turned into a game-winning touchdown. I mean, and that wasn't the only play. It wasn't just the Kyle Hamilton play. They had multiple times where they could have put the game away or sealed it or been done with it, but instead they shot themselves in the foot. So it's unfortunate when you have a team who just last week you could argue was top 2 in the league, top 3, just the way it looked. And then they go and take another step backwards, which kind of has been what the Ravens have done the past couple of years, especially when the games get real big. And should be a win or something, they play down a level, and that's what happened again this week.
I did have the Ravens as losers as well for very similar reasons. Just like every time they get on a roll and seem unbeatable, they just throw up an absolute stinker of a performance. But
that defense is suspect.
That's also AFC North football. Is any of them can beat each other at any point in time.
Yeah, gave the Steelers first in the division now because of it, but looking at it, they shouldn't be. It should be the Ravens, but like you said, that's AFC North football. Steelers or the Bengals can absolutely go and somehow win out the rest of the season, and that wouldn't shock me. Something like that happen.
For my first loser, I got Anthony Richardson. So, obviously big story today. According to Adam Schefter, Indianapolis Colts chosen to bench second-year quarterback Anthony Richardson in favor of damn near 40-year-old Joe Flacco under center following Richardson pulling himself out of the Texans game late this past Sunday due to what the QB described as being a little too tired to play football. Obviously, he's received backlash for these post-game comments, and I was summarizing. He didn't say that verbatim. But with former Colts punter Pat McAfee tweeting out, I had never seen an NFL QB tap out while still being healthy until I watched Anthony Richardson. QB is your franchise. Message it sends is loud and influential. Now, I do guess that I read later that a Colts team official came out and said Richardson was out of breath. But the fact that he's being benched 2 days after this, tells me that there's probably a little bit more to the story. It is justified. Richardson's playing terrible. 958 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 7 picks, and absolutely ridiculously low 44% completion on the year so far. So not great by any means. He hasn't really done much more on the ground, only 242 yards and 1 touchdown. Leading the league with fumbles, too, with 6 through 6 games. Yeah, not great. The fact that he, if he would have played better this past week, they'd probably beat the Texans. And if they beat the Texans, they're in first place of the division with splitting the season series against the toughest team they're in the division. So, could very well be, I don't know. I guess Joe Flacco being promoted to QB is not exactly what I want for him, because I think the way he's going to get better is going to be playing football. But at the same time, if the Colts are trying to make a playoff spot, which this seems like it's an indication that that's a priority for them this year, I guess that would indicate why they're going to Joe Flacco, but I don't know if that's the right call. So, sucks to be Anthony Richardson, but probably shouldn't have played so badly.
Yeah, this is kind of like... This is the right move to make a playoff push.
Right.
And no offense to Gardner Minshew, but you're going to learn more sitting behind Joe Flacco than you are Gardner Minshew. I mean, he's been in the league forever. He's won a Super Bowl. So he's seen just about everything. He was an elite quarterback at some point in time.
For about 1
Whereas
month.
I don't think, where I don't think you could ever really say that about Gardner. So,
Yeah, he was for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, his first 2 weeks. So I do kind of think this is probably the right move for all parties involved. I did have the Colts on here as well as losers because I don't think they got the guy.
No,
If
I
you're
don't think so.
taking yourself out of the game, I don't think you're the guy. You know, you see how many times have you seen a quarterback get crushed and then run down holding their ribs?
Matt Stafford, for instance.
Getting to play Matt Stafford, Kirk Cousins,
Michael
Mahomes,
Penix.
his helmet, he doesn't want to come out when he's got a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
You know,
Someone said that they didn't know you could
Brady
do
Cook.
that. They didn't know you were allowed to do that at quarterback, like, because no one's done that.
Yeah. So him being out of shape, if he's too tired, that's a sign of other things. But it's just not a great situation.
Disappointing, to say the least.
Yeah.
That completion percentage, man, I feel like that's
44.
That's
really
bad.
Like,
I mean,
he went to 32, and
You can't even
It's just-
complete half your passes at the NFL level? That's
like, you expect to see improvement, but I think that's what the hard part is. There's not.
it's been going
There's not,
it's been
like-
getting worse.
Yeah, like he has big plays, but every game it's guaranteed less than 50%, 50 at best.
Yeah.
And so it's like
At the ceiling. He
That-
threw almost
that QB
60%
class-
last year.
the crowd is looking ridiculous in that draft class. It is none of them look good right now
No.
at all.
Well, I'll throw out an easy one for losers. Chicago Bears. That was just all-time karma moment there at the end of the game. Taunting the crowd or cheering with your own fans, whatever his excuse was.
His
And then
excuse was he was
allegedly-
not paying attention. He came out and said that.
Allegedly, that was his guy that he was supposed to be boxing out in the end zone, but he's too busy being distracted, and he runs and he bats the ball straight back to his guy. So,
It's the fact that everything that could have went wrong happened to the one guy.
yep.
He was the one to get the ball. It wasn't like, oh, just his guy scored. You tipped it to him, bro. It was on you the whole way.
Yeah,
Man.
bad situation, and I think that's a, sort of a sign of the things there in Chicago. Eberflus man's got to fix some shit, or he's got to go, because that's a discipline thing. Would you ever see
is.
that on an Andy Reid, on a Bill Belichick,
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Vrabel led team? Absolutely
No,
not.
Hey, it was Justin Fields' fault though. That's why.
Yeah,
That's why it was Justin Fields' fault that play happened. That's what happened.
They shouldn't have drafted Justin Fields, and they wouldn't be in this issue. They probably wouldn't have
And then
Tyreek
how-
Stevenson
how
had they
they
not,
didn't
to be
do
fair.
It's probably right. How about Jaden Daniels though, talking his shit though to the sideline as soon as that thing scored too.
Yeah.
That was. I know some people hate it. Oh, he's got. As me, I'm with it all the way. Especially when a quarterback does it, it gets some going. Win or loser, what do I want to do? Aaron, that was my next loser, so you took that. But good job. It was an obvious one, Tyreek Stevenson specifically. All right, fine. I'll do the Texans. That's what I'm gonna go with. My last loser. They don't look as dominant as last year. We've kind of said that for the past couple weeks. They just don't look like the team they did last year. Mind you, C.J. Stroud, historical rookie season, 4,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, 5 picks. Incredible. And so I don't even want to call this a sophomore slump, because if you go look at his stats compared to other quarterbacks this league, he's not playing that bad. It's just not everyone expected, probably 40 touchdowns and whatnot. Not only they got a win, they haven't looked as dominant, but then you add the Nico Collins already out, and then Stephon Diggs now out for the rest of the year, which is the whole reason you traded for Stephon Diggs. So, I mean, I don't know. You have the Niners who are banged up and their record shows it. The Texans are battling through that stuff still with the good record, but they just don't. The record doesn't seem to show the dominance. Is that what I'm trying? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
The record,
Yeah.
the record is a little deceiving. As if you watch the game, they're playing a lot closer games to teams that I feel like it shouldn't have been that close with the Colts. I personally don't think so.
No,
this
of
past
course
week,
not. Absolutely.
especially when you consider the other
Especially now with how bad that Colts
32.
offense has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Well,
it
the
shouldn't have been
defense
like
ain't
that.
great.
If Joe
The
Flacco's
Texans
in there,
defense hasn't made that step that I was expecting them to from last year.
Mhm.
And then obviously we've talked about it before that O line I think has some trouble with pass protection.
Yeah, well, that was my last one that I had because Aaron took my other winner that I had to. So I'll just touch on what you were saying, Joe. Yeah, Texans obviously a big losers. Stephon Diggs specifically is what I have down here because he's just the newest in a long fucking line of these injuries to premier players we're seeing. Obviously ACL. I don't know if you mentioned that, but if you did, my bad. So he's out for the year officially. And you may have also mentioned this. I mean, well, you did mention that Nico Collins is down. I don't think you mentioned, though, that Tank Dell, with the injury he suffered last year, he's only played 18 games. So he's basically still a rookie. He's hardly played the NFL, and he's their number one target now. As good as he is, that's going to be a really, really tough for a Texans offense that's been the bright spot of that team, because like you said, the defense hasn't been quite up to snuff as what we all kind of would have imagined. But yeah, it's CJ Stroud's going to be carrying an awful big load the rest of the year if they hope to be a prominent playoff team come, March or whenever the hell that is. So, not
Well,
March.
if we want to throw out a little bit of
The Super Bowl's in February.
if we want to throw out a bit of comparison here, another loser, I've got Trevor Lawrence. It just feels like he's not quite living up to the expectations that he kind of came out of college with. Time and time again, the Jags fall short. It's not necessarily all his fault, but then you look at a team like the Texans, who haven't had the kind of like Joe was saying, the most impressive wins, playing a lot of close games. But it seems like CJ Stroud is sort of the difference maker in a lot of those games, making just enough, the one or two plays that get them the win. Whereas it doesn't feel like Trevor Lawrence does that. So it's unfortunate that the Jags are in this situation. They just paid him a bunch of money, but this isn't to say he's bad. It's just he's not the generational talent that everybody kind of was hoping him to be.
Yeah, we were told he was going to be.
Sure. Well, I'll just go to another player. I'll make these next two really quick winners. One is the Chiefs. Congratulations to you guys again. Undefeated. Might not be as pretty as everyone likes it to be, or wants it to be, or expects it to be. Nonetheless, wins are wins. That's all that matters at the end of the day. You're the only one still undefeated, so congrats to you guys. My next winner is actually Tom Brady. Guy doesn't even play anymore. It doesn't it's not as easy, I guess, to just pick a new team to go to, being an elite quarterback, and just go and win a Super Bowl and turn everything around like nothing happened. I don't think people realize how, I think people really, really got a little ahead of themselves, thinking like anyone
Because
can do it.
Peyton kind of did it, and then now Tom did it.
Exactly.
This is really a Jets losers.
Yeah, this is an Aaron Rodgers loser take. Yeah.
And it's like a 50-50 thing.
I like it.
I support it.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to put down the other guy. I was trying to boost the other one. So that's all I was trying to do there.
he should be put down for the way he was talking. Acting like
Not
he was
like Aaron
better
Rodgers,
than everybody.
You could even give some credit. I know this one wasn't, technically a free agent signing, but like Stafford going to the Rams and then instantly making them a Super Bowl championship team. Like, I think people just think it's a little easier than said than done. Like, everything has to still fit.
Now that one's a little bit
Like
different because they did make the Super Bowl a couple years before. But,
They do.
yeah.
I agree. It is completed, but it makes it, man, the Jets are not good. it doesn't even look like they can come back and make a playoff push right now. It kind of seems
No.
like
Yeah,
all right, let's start looking at how we're gonna do next year.
Yeah. I guess I just thought of one last winner I can throw out there. Diontae Johnson, big winner today specifically. Got the hell out of Carolina. Congrats to him. And joined one of the biggest Super Bowl contenders in the league, in the Baltimore Ravens. So rejoining the AFC North, going to be him and Patrick Queen essentially just switch places now. So that's kind of cool. They may even end up matched up on each other, depending on where Diontae Johnson's put on the, place in the line. If he's slot
Formation.
Yeah, there we go. Formation. That's the word I'm looking for. If he's like a slot or something, then maybe they run into each other. I don't know. That'd be kind of weird. But yeah, congrats to Diontae Johnson for finally getting out of that, dumpster fire that is the Carolina Panthers. And Adam Thielen, you're alone again, buddy. Sorry.
They need to send him. They need
to get rid of him, poor bastard.
You need to cut him and let him go sign with a contender. Who needs him?
Even though he's on the IR, just for his sake.
My next winner is myself, Burke, other Chiefs fans like us.
Woo.
Finally get to watch a Chiefs game called by someone other than Collinsworth or
Trent
Romo.
Green too.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I love Kevin Harlan. He's one of my favorite commentators. So
I always
that
love
was
Trent
just
Green.
the cherry on top.
We usually only get Trent Green in the preseason, so it was nice to see him during a regular season game.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing Collinsworth and Romo.
Dude, yeah. And Brady was doing it the other week against the Niners, too. I was kind of like, damn, Patriots fans are going to be pissed that Brady's sucking off Mahomes like this.
I forget what game I switched it to. It was right after the Chiefs game. I switched it to whatever game was on after that.
Mm-hmm.
And it might not have been the Chiefs game. I switched to a game and it was Romo's game, whatever game he was calling. And the first sentence I heard out of him was like, it was a comparison to Mahomes. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm glad I wasn't watching this entire game.
That is annoying, yeah. Having Trent Green for the Raiders game specifically was really special. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, had a little insight.
I got one winner left, and mine's T.J. Watt. Specifically, T.J. Watt. I mean, the guy, he's went back-to-back games without a sack. The last time he's gone 3 games in a row without a sack, I guess, was 2018. That's what I said on the broadcast that I was watching.
That's what I heard.
So they were talking, back-to-back games, no sacks, and then not only does he end up with a multi-sack game, but late in the game ends up with a sack fumble that he also recovered by himself. It was a play he literally destroyed by himself. So as a Steelers fan, I get to see it. Like, the guy really shows up when it matters most every single time. It seems like for a turnover, a sack, something, he makes an impact play. So
I will say that one, was it a 2-point conversion that they tried to run where they had
with Highsmith and Neighbors out there?
Yeah, bro. What the fuck were the linemen doing? You make that block, he scores easy. You got like 6 on 3.
That's why Daniel Jones was losing it, dude. As soon as he threw the ball, just started screaming. Like,
it was like he couldn't have thrown that any more perfect. He did that, like, caught it as soon as he threw it. As soon as he got rid of it. They had no time to react except for the one guy that got the tackle. Even his team didn't have time to react.
If I knew they weren't going to block him, that dude could have went for a pick 6 or something.
Dude, yeah, honestly.
Gosh.
Gee,
man, that was crazy.
Those funky formations.
They trip you up, man.
Never work.
But that should have, though. That's the thing. It should have worked.
Yeah.
Right. But they almost never do.
But it would have been the one time it did. All the linemen have to do is pay attention.
Something didn't get communicated. The snap count, that was gross.
They weren't even set. They
No!
were still, looking over at each other.
Yeah, they were still they were watching the ball. They see it get hiked, and then they still like a split second to be like, "Oh shit, we gotta go."
Oh, he did snap it.
Yeah.
He really snapped it.
Yeah.
That's all I got for it, though. That was wild.
I can throw out one more loser, and I think Joe will appreciate this one. It's them boys. Of course, they made the game look closer than it actually was because San Fran just
Dak in garbage time.
They didn't decide to play prevent defense. They decided to play no defense.
I will say Shanahan with a 10-point plus fourth quarter league plus Dak Prescott down 10 plus points. Match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Yep.
Match made in heaven.
There's no way that game should have been that close.
No. But the Cowboys' struggles continue in the trenches. They only rushed for 56 yards themselves, granted, because they got their asses blown out by the third quarter.
Usually happens when I eat Taco Bell.
Yeah. But they also gave up over 200 yards rushing themselves, so they've got some real problems on both the offensive and defensive line when it comes to winning those trenches battles.
And they decided to put Dalvin Cook back on the practice squad after.
Why?
Somebody snatch his ass up.
They put him back on the practice squad today. Or yesterday or something like that.
Because, hey, feed Zeke, man. Keep feeding Zeke. That's the answer to all life's problems.
They suited him up for one game. And then put him right back at the bench. Not even the bench. They put him suiting up.
I'm starting to like the nice Cowboys fans, because we know at least a couple, Joe. I feel bad for you guys. I do feel bad for y'all. The rest of y'all can go fuck yourself. But unless y'all got anything else.
Packers are better with Malik Willis at quarterback than Jordan Love.
Maybe Malik Willis was just really that good, and the Titans organization is just really that bad.
That would also track.
So we just need to see what Will Levis can do outside of Tennessee.
Exactly. That's his problem. That's Mayo Man's problem. He's got all the charisma to be an NFL quarterback. He just doesn't have the support system.
So like Cleveland.
Even his girl left him, I think.
The Mayo is gone.
Well, unless y'all got anything else, I think that'll do it.
Kissing me, he's got banana peel
for this
strings in his
episode
teeth.
of Most Unprofessional Sports Channel on YouTube, Swivel Chair Sports. I've been your host, Zach Circleberg Burkle, here at the coast today. Aaron and Joe, go and say bye, guys.
Bye.
Alright, please make sure to like and subscribe if you made it this far into the video. Enjoy our content. Make sure to keep an eye out for any other future videos we got coming on the pike. And most importantly, have a good day. And deuces.